Episode 2, Paradise War Returns, Part 4. It was a terrible first game, but the rest of the day went rather smoothly, with Myron leading the way in a series of heated matches. Aaliyah, Palti, and Apuesta managed to get through the first game without getting to their underwear. Most of the boys were defeated, probably due to their handicaps. Each time, the boys sighed loudly and lost their morale, but the girls got excited and some of them shouted when the boys took off their underwear. Many times along the way, there were shouts of "Let me see the game," too, from the edge of the hall, but everyone ignored it. And then the moment would come. Then it's time for end of the first round. Shokuin. Dird, come up here. Yes. Yes. Sho and Dird walked up to the stage together. Aaliyah and the others came up behind them and said, "Good luck." Both of them cheered firmly, "We're rooting for you." In the center of the stage, Sho faced Dird. Sho's heart was beating strongly, and it was transmitted to his hands as tension. It was only a game of rock, paper, scissors, but Sho was as nervous as he had been when he first fought with the Guardian. Because no matter how ridiculous the game of baseball fist was, if he took off everything, he would lose. In this tournament system, losing meant losing the war. It didn't matter how many times he stripped down to his underwear, he couldn't afford to lose even once. Moreover, losing would be an abomination in such a public place. It was natural for him to feel nervous. "All right. I can't lose, Sho." "Me too." You two have good eyes. Let's go then." Boom, boom, boom. The venue was buzzing with excitement. Dird, standing in front of Sho, was blushing and covering her breasts with her hands. "I'm sorry, Dird, but it's a serious game." I know, Sho." Dird had taken off several items of clothing and was now in nothing but her underwear. The men in the audience were glued to her figure, and the girls were screaming, "Don't look at her." Dird squirmed in embarrassment. Okay, I'm going next." Tada. Beep. Sho and Dird pressed the switch at the same time. The results appeared on the monitor. Sho's result was rock, and Dird's result was scissors. Oh, the venue was filled with exploding cheers, and Dird's defeat was finally decided. However, she could still fight one more time as a special rule by taking off her last piece. "I'm not going to lose this time." Dird cheerfully took off her last piece of clothing. Dird. Sho blushed and averted his gaze, but wondered at the boys' cheers turning to disappointment and the girls' sighs of relief, and looked fearfully at Dird. Dird's chest and crotch area were hidden by a pitch-black secret wall. I would have preferred her in her underwear if that was the case. The boys cried out in distress, and Sho agreed with them, but was also relieved, because Dird's underwear had disrupted his concentration, and he had lost a rare one. Well, I lost." Dird sat down on the spot with a sigh of relief. "Yes." "So, the winner is Shokuin. The second round starts in 15 minutes. You guys, make it even more exciting than it already is." Whoa. Then the boys came up on stage in a row. Sho, who was suddenly surrounded by them, was naturally confused. What's going on? "Wow, Kukoma. Congratulations, Sho. You're a god. You are our hope." What? Whoa. Without Mike and the other interpreters, Sho had no idea what they were saying. But he guessed that they were pleased. To prove it, they lifted Sho up and started to carry him around as if they had decided the winner. Washoi. Shokuin. It seems like everyone is expecting Shokuin. Yee. Hey, help. While Ichiro looked on with a smile as Sho was lifted into the air several times. It was time for a break before the second round started. Sho, finally free of the boys, trotted over to Aaliyah and the others. "Yo, good work." "Sho, congratulations." "Hey, where's Dird?" Sho wondered about Dird, who was not there. She must have been in shock after the loss. "She's holed up in the waiting room. But she'll come out as soon as she calms down. Please leave her alone for a while." Palti gently stopped Sho as he was about to head for the waiting room. But Dird and the others were fighting on behalf of the guild, and unlike Sho, they had responsibilities of their own, he realized at this point. Hey, Palti said it too. In a game, some people win and some people lose. That's how we've always done it. No hard feelings between us, and I don't think Dird has anything against Sho. Aaliyah. Aaliyah patted him on the shoulder, and Apuesta and Palti followed suit. Yeah. Besides, the war is over today. I suppose so. Let's do everything we can to make sure we have no regrets. The three of them smiled and looked at Sho. So Sho also smiled and replied, yes. After the break, the second round began. Aaliyah and Palti managed to win the second round as well. The boys were frustrated that they couldn't get the girls undressed. Then it was Sho's turn. Yes, it's the end of round 2 too. Shokuen. Apuesta, come on up. Myron called, and with a loud cheer, Sho and Apuesta went on stage. The two faced each other. Their appearance is also shown on the monitor. Apuesta's mouth was tightly clenched, and she had her hands on her chest, clearly showing how nervous she was. Before going on stage, she handed Palti her Soraban-shaped vocalizer and walked up to him as if she had made up her mind. Apuesta. She swallowed hard and nodded, apparently ready to go. Sho nodded back. You two are ready, right? Let's go then. Janken. The audience groaned several times. Because here, Sho did not take off a single piece of clothing and won straight away. Sue, wow, that guy is the real deal. Oh, God, Kukoma God. What a dazzling guy. I can't even see him properly. The male classmates looked up at Sho with a twinkle in their all-too-pure eyes, and Sho felt uncomfortable at the strange sight. He hadn't seen that before. Sho felt uncomfortable at this strange scene and felt a little guilty because the cause of this admiration was the act of undressing Dird and the others. Oh man, this was supposed to be a much cleaner game. While complaining in his mind to the organizer who decided to play baseball fist and to Myron who encouraged him to do so, Sho decided to apologize to Dird and the others as much as he could later. Ugh. I lost. Good work, Apuesta. Palti took Apuesta to the changing room, where Dird and Aaliyah had already changed and returned. Sho, you're really strong. Apuesta nodded her head. Sho's not really cheating, is he? He's too strong, no matter what. I don't think so. Sho isn't that kind of person, and if he was, you guys, the judges, would have found out. Oh, I see that too. TSK. Palti returned Aaliyah's complaint, and Aaliyah's lips twitched in agreement. But if we don't, we might be in trouble too. You better prepare yourself to get into your underwear, Palti. Oh, well, Palti doesn't seem to mind being seen by Sho, so it's not a problem. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Palti's face turned red as she yelled at her, and Aaliyah couldn't help but cover her ears. But before Palti and Sho, it's Aaliyah's turn, okay? Are you okay? Be careful. Yeah, well, I'll try my best. Not at all. Please be careful. And so, the semifinals finally began. The prospective winner of the first trial. The matchup card is Aaliyah versus Ichiro. Heh, Aaliyah and Ichiro-kun, huh? Good luck, Aaliyah. I'm getting nervous too. Yes, I am. Me too. Sho and the girls, along with the rest of the audience, went into a cheering position. On the stage, they faced each other and started talking. I didn't expect you to come up. I'm a little surprised. I didn't think I'd be facing Aaliyah like this either. The two of them were shown on the monitor, their conversation reaching the entire hall via the speakers. All right then, let's get on with it. I can't afford to lose at this point. I see. Hey, Aaliyah. What? I give up. I give up. Ichiro's statement startled not only Aaliyah, but the entire audience as well. Hey, what the hell are you talking about? That's exactly what I said. It's just a coincidence that I made it this far, and I don't want Aaliyah to beat me to a pulp. So, I give up, Myron-sensei. What? Oh, wait a minute. It's true that you can give up, but this is boring. There are girls waiting to see you naked. Myron tried to stop him, and some of the girls shouted in disappointment, but Ichiro said, I'm sorry, and walked off the stage. All right, I get it. So, Aaliyah wins by default. Then let's go to the next match. Well, you're lucky you won without any trouble. Aaliyah walked off the stage with an angry Myron in her face. Cuckoo, fuhahaha. Just like we planned, Ichiro. Just like the plan. You just surrendered, didn't you? The corridor in the facility after leaving the grand banquet hall. In front of Ichiro, who was sighing, Mike, still wearing a mattress and his face swollen to a pulp, was grinning in a good mood. It was no wonder. It's because his plan was a success. Ichiro, I'm terrified of myself. There is no gap in my perfect strategy. You just threw the whole operation to Shokuin, didn't you? No, I left it to him. I don't think we'll be able to beat Sho. He's the real deal, having beaten the queen of rock, paper, scissors, Tommy. We know that from the straight wins he's had so far. Then Ichiro doesn't need to beat Aaliyah. So, I thought to myself, if Sho can beat Palti after this, then we can see Aaliyah naked without any hassle after Dird, Apuesta, Karusha, and Palti. Mahahaha. It's not just Sho. I'm a genius, too. What a terrible plan. Well, there's a secret wall, so technically you can't see them naked. Ichiro had his head in his hands. He had his own reasons for going along with such a plan, though. After all, Aaliyah was the representative of Balta. Of course, the Balta Guild to which Aaliyah belonged was a sideline, an organization that has been cut off from the original Balta. However, since the head family Balta currently existed as an independent country, even though it is a sideline that has been cut off, it is possible that Sho will give up the victory there, and there is a possibility that it will be profitable. Well, I wouldn't be able to beat Shokuin even if I went to the final, and I didn't want to lose and get naked on the final stage, so I should say that. I guess so. After all, we're betting all our money on Sho. If Sho continues to win, our status will improve rapidly. Mike's face tightened up. That's right, Mike and his friends have been making bets with a lot of people behind the scenes, and they were betting all the money they had on Sho to represent Earth. In other words, even if they don't win, if Sho won, they will make a huge profit and even get to see their classmates in all their glory. In a way, it was a perfect victory. Please Sho, my soulmate. Haha, Shokuin wouldn't think that we're doing this behind his back, would he? The next game was the second semi-final match. The matchup card was Palti versus Sho. Shokuin. Palti, you guys. Next time, don't give in or anything. You'll ruin the game. Got it? Yes. I don't want to do it either, but... All right then. I'll be right back. Sho and Palti walked onto the stage, disgusted by Myron's careless hosting. Palti. Sho, we've both made it this far, haven't we? Yeah, I guess so. Sho is kind, so you care about Dird and Apuesta. However, such concern is unnecessary. Although the form is different, this is no different from a war using guardians. As a representative of the guild, I must fight without shame. So Sho, there is no need to hold back. Please give it your all. Palti. Her expression was stern, but she had very clear eyes. She's very strong. She has that look in her eyes after taking on everything, herself, her home, her family, even her guild. So, I have to respond to her, Sho thought, nodding. Yes. Okay. Let's do it with all our might. Yes. The two smiled at each other. The audience applauded and the taiko drum sounded boom. The drums thumped loudly. Then it's time to start. Let's get them off. At the sound of Myron's voice, Sho and Palti looked at each other and placed their hands on the switches at hand. Jan-ken. The result of that match was... What a surprise, Sho won in 8 straight games. Oh no, that's not possible. Palti, who was still hiding her chest, collapsed on the spot with a heave. Yes! Winner Shokuin. You're in the finals, Kediai. Wah! Amidst the loud cheers, Sho quickly ran over to Palti. Palti, take this for now. What? Sho hurriedly took off his own jacket and pulled it over Palti's head. I'm sorry, I embarrassed you. Let's go change quickly. Sho, no. This is just another result of a serious game. Palti. I guess I lost, Sho. Please do your best in the final. Yes. Their conversation was heard by the whole audience, who cheered and applauded at the same time, and both Sho and Palti were surprised, and then turned their faces down in embarrassment. When they got off the stage, Dird and the others came over to them, and Palti went to change. Kukoma Sho, undefeated, he had made it to the finals. What the hell is this? The strongly built man slammed the desk as hard as he could, not hiding his frustration as he stared at the monitor image in front of him. On the monitor, he could see Sho and Palti. In this place, surrounded by many machines, the men spoke with narrowed eyes. You want to determine the winner this way? To hell with you. Yeah, totally. It's like it's just a festival. It looks like they're just playing. As if in sympathy with the man who slammed the desk, the other men also had stern looks on their faces. The atmosphere they give off is not that of ordinary people, but clearly that of trained elites. In the midst of all this, someone with a distinctly different mood from the other men, a man with his hair pulled back, spoke up. Leave them alone for now. What they're doing is just for fun. When all is said and done, we'll show them what we can do. The angry men's mouths twisted into grins at his words. You're right. Right. Although now is not the time for that yet. When all is said and done, we'll take care of the problem here. By that time, we won't need them anymore. The men stared at the image with suspicious smiles on their faces. Hi. The final match is about to begin. Let's all gather up. Myron's voice echoed throughout the venue, and all the people who had been spending their break time buying food from the stalls or sitting on the benches gathered in the center of the venue turned towards the stage. Of course, Sho and his friends were among them. Yu, it's finally here. Sho, good luck. And Aaliyah, of course. What, you think I'm going to lose to Sho? I hope you two have a good match. We'll be rooting for you too. Dird and the others laughed at him, and Sho was so happy that he quickly replied. Guys, yeah, thanks. Aaliyah, let's do this fair and square. Of course. We've come this far, I'm going to win. Aaliyah and Sho laughed together, and they were ready to go. It's taken a while, but now the war on this island is finally over. So, the final match. Shokuen. Aaliyah, get up here. Yes. When their names were called, a wave of cheers spread out from the hall. Sho and Aaliyah walked onto the stage and faced each other in front of the judges. Mia. Good luck to both Shokuen and Aaliyah. Ugh. It's a fight. Ho. They've both grown up, haven't they? Hey, Tommy. Yeah, Sho-chan, Aaliyah-chan, do it so you won't have any regrets. M from the Cabots, Loretta, Karusha who had changed her clothes, Dird's grandfather, and Tommy. Everyone who had gone through the battle with them was watching over Sho and the others in their own way. Sho nodded his head yes. Aaliyah was a little embarrassed, but Sho knew she would be happy to hear the cheers. Hi. You two, in the middle. Myron instructed, and the two of them stepped out gently. They each looked at the other across the rock-paper-scissors table with the switch. Sho looked at Aaliyah, her face full of confidence. She smiled happily and said, When I first met you, you didn't look like the kind of guy who could live in a tent there, but Sho, you've changed a lot. What? Oh, really? Well, I guess I've become a little more fearless. You can't beat Dird with a harpoon, you can't even cook properly, Myron is playing with you, you don't know how to use the Guardian, and you're still pathetic as ever. I'll be honest with you, Aaliyah. I'm not going to lose. I'm here to beat you and end this war. Well, you've come to say that, haven't you? The audience that had been listening to their conversation was getting excited, and seeing Aaliyah's smile as she confronted him, Sho felt that he was being recognized. She was right, coming to this island and suddenly being forced to live a life of survival. At first, he was so confused that he couldn't do anything and wanted to run away as soon as possible, but now he really liked this island. He really enjoyed his life with the girls. That's why he wanted to end this war as soon as possible. He now understood how important this war was to them. But he didn't want to see them killing each other. On this island, they were always happy and laughing. The way they live their lives, always laughing and enjoying themselves, is what he believed to be the real them. In order to protect them, Sho strengthened his resolve even more. I will definitely win. Let's fight. Aaliyah. Come at me, Sho. I'll strip you naked as fast as I can. The two of them got into a mid-back position and put their hands on the switches. The spirit of each other wrapped up the entire venue. The voices of the audience stopped quickly. Even MC Myron and the judges were almost bottled up in the atmosphere, and Myron panicked and grabbed the mic tightly. Yeah, let's go then. Are you ready? Yes. Ready when you are. That's a good answer. Let's go for round one. Let's go. Out. Safe. Good. Their hands flicked a switch in their hands. A tense first move. Sho made paper. And Aaliyah made a rock. Whoa. Yes. Damn it. Sho guffawed and Aaliyah slammed the table in front of her. Ow. She shook her hands. Shokuin won with paper. Now Aaliyah, take the first one off. I know. Aaliyah somewhat roughly took off one of the thin socks she had been wearing. We're not done here yet, Sho. Yes. Come on, Myron, next. You're such a picky little thing. Okay, let's go for round 2. Out. Safe. It's okay. Hey. No way, right? Aaliyah muttered. The second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds were all won by Sho against Aaliyah. By then, Aaliyah was already down to her last piece, and Sho couldn't see Aaliyah properly anymore, but the audience was at its highest ebb ever. Shokuin's won everything so far. Aaliyah only has one pair of pants left. If this keeps up, the game might be decided next time. You guys can't miss this. Myron stirred up the crowd, and the place became even more noisy. The drums were thumping loudly, and the stall holders were gathering, leaving their stores behind. Damn. That's right, you might win a few times in a row, but Sho has won almost all of the qualifiers in a row, right? What kind of win rate is that? It's crazy. The only time he lost was the one time when Dirt's underwear disrupted his concentration. If she hadn't disrupted his concentration, he would have won the whole thing. I think so too. Sho didn't know how to respond. In fact, he had no idea why he was so good at rock, paper, scissors. It's just that he's lucky. Aaliyah, Shokuin is not cheating, okay? Come on, judges. Do you see anything wrong with Shokuin? Mia. No. Oh no. No, all of them together denied that Sho was cheating. Oh my god. I don't think Sho is cheating either. That's why I don't agree with you. Everyone knows that. It was easy to understand if you put yourself in Aaliyah's shoes. It was a fair game of rock, paper, scissors with a hidden switch, but Sho had only lost once to Dirt. And there was no cheating. Sho began to feel a little sorry for Aaliyah, who probably didn't know how to fight against such an opponent. Hi. I'll go to the final game as soon as I understand. It hasn't been decided that it's the last one yet. Don't say that until you win. Yes, sir. Get ready. At Myron's words, Sho and Aaliyah put their hands to the switch. Let's go then. Jan-ken. Beep. There was the sound of a switch being pressed. The result is displayed on the huge monitor in the center. The people fell silent. Sho's move was scissors. Aaliyah's hand was paper. All eyes were on Aaliyah. She could have won more fight if she got naked by special exception. But Sho, who had won straight up to this point, would probably find it impossible to win at all. Aaliyah shook her head quietly. At that moment, Myron took a deep breath and looked at Sho. Finals are over. And the war is over. The winner is Kukoma Shokuin. The word congratulations appeared in large letters on the monitor. The venue shook with the loudest cheer of the day. Finally, the war was over, the venue was filled with Sho calls, and everyone came up to the stage to praise Sho's victory. It's over, isn't it? In the corner of the stage, Myron muttered to herself. She had been a lively MC until a few minutes ago, but now she was looking at Sho in the center of the stage with a very sad and weak expression, as if she was about to cry. She mumbled something that no one could hear. Myron left the venue unnoticed. Oh no, I lost. The changing room after the game. There, Aaliyah whined and changed, while Dird, Apuesta, and Palti were around her. That's too bad, Aaliyah. Damn right I am. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I can't do this anymore. It's the same for us. But when you think about it, we were all taken off by Sho, weren't we? At Palti's words, Dird and the others froze. Apuesta was the first to turn red and shrink. Dird also looked embarrassed, and even Aaliyah was wriggling her mouth, as if remembering what she had just said. Palti, who had just said it, blushed after a small, oh. But now our battle is over, isn't it? Then Dird changed the subject. Yeah, I guess so. It ended in a very different way from the beginning, didn't it? Yes. I didn't expect it to be settled by rock, paper, scissors. I never dreamed of that, did you? Yeah. You've changed so much since Sho came. Aaliyah and the others nodded loudly at Dirt's words. In the first place, it's impossible for us pirates who belong to different guilds to be doing something like this on Earth. Before I knew it, I was too used to living on Banjo Island. It's true. And phew. Even though it's a battle to decide our future, I kind of enjoyed it a lot. I wonder if that's all because of Show's influence. Well, if it weren't for Show, none of this would have happened. Yeah, I know. It was kind of oddly funny. Even though they had lost the battle, the four of them couldn't help but laugh at each other. The girls had noticed that they had changed a bit. It wasn't that they had forgotten their original goal. It's not that they thought it was okay to lose. But the girls, they really liked living on Banjo Island on this planet. That's why they could smile even now. Each of them had her own big problems, but they were still able to laugh at each other. Then Aaliyah, who had finished changing her clothes, said, Well. Then, shall we go see Show's sunny appearance? Yeah. Awards ceremony coming up. Yes, I guess so. Shall we go? Yes. Let's go. The four of them left the changing room without further ado. So, we will now begin the award ceremony for the winner, Kokoma Shokuen. Minamata said with a mic in his hand. Come on, Kokoma, this way. Yes. Amidst loud applause and cheers, Sho nervously made his way to the center of the stage. The audience laughed as Sho was so tense that his hands and feet were sticking out at the same time. Even the judges were giggling. When they reached the center, Minamata said with a smile, Congratulations on your win. I was surprised that you actually won. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. So, well, even though it's an award ceremony, it's not like I can award you any particular certificates or trophies, but it's just a formality. Besides, I have to show everyone that you're looking good. The audience erupted in applause, even louder than before. Our God. I've changed my mind about you, Kokoma Sho. We're so proud of you. Congratulations, Kokoma. That was amazing. The cheers of his immediate classmates, both male and female, sounded loud, but other voices from the adults kept arriving as well, Sho's chest quivering with joy. Oh, thank you so much. He bowed his head in a big way towards everyone. Then the loud cheers spread again. Congratulations indeed. Now, then, about the next reward for winning. Sho's award ceremony went off without a hitch, and the excitement did not stop until the end. Immediately afterwards, the artisans, vendors, and everyone else started to clear out the venue. Sho, who had been showered with gifts from many people, including bouquets of flowers and leftover food, was holding a pile of them and looking for someone. I don't see, Myron-sensei. It was Myron. She was the host of the event, but for some reason, she hadn't been at the awards ceremony and had disappeared. He looked around but could not find her. She stood out in many ways, so usually it was easy to recognize her. Minamata-san. Sho then spotted Minamata holding an incubator. He ran over to them. Hi, Kokoma-kun. Thanks for all your hard work today. I guess you can't take care of these kids yet with that luggage. Thanks for your hard work too, Minamata-san. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll come back later to pick them up. Yeah, okay. More importantly, I didn't think you'd actually win the rock-paper-scissors competition. As I said before, I'm still very surprised by this. Oh no. I just happened to be lucky. But you were confident in your rock-paper-scissors game, weren't you? That's why you chose to play that game. Yes, Sho said, lightly reminiscing about the old days. I thought that I didn't have any advantages. But in the midst of being with Minamata-san, Dird, and the others, I realized it. I've always been good at rock-paper-scissors, and I've never lost. So, I thought if I could incorporate that into the war, even I could win. I see. And as it turns out, that's how you won. It's a great talent. That's something you should be proud of. Thank you. But I don't even feel it at all yet. I heard about the reward for winning earlier, but the idea of going to space doesn't feel real at all. Haha. Well, I guess so. It was the same with me. You too, Minamata-san? Yes. You're like me. No, you're a lot like me. Huh. That's why, I guess. It made me want to cheer for you, and I thought that you might actually win the championship. You remind me a lot of myself when I was a kid. Minamata-san. Minamata looked at the night sky. Then, Minamata took off his sunglasses and looked at Sho. At that moment, Sho saw Minamata's true face for the first time. Congratulations again, Kokoma Shokuin. I know you have a lot of hard work ahead of you, but I, for one, welcome you to space. Minamata smiled innocently, as if he were a child. His hand was gently held out toward Sho. Thank you, Minamata-san. Sho managed to grab the hand with one hand while carrying a lot of luggage. And the way they laughed at each other, they looked like two old friends. Having said that, I'm sure Kokoma-kun hasn't decided what he's going to do yet. There's no need to panic just yet, so please take your time to think about and decide what you want to do. Yes, I understand. They let go of each other's hands. Then Sho remembered, oh. Yes, Minamata-san, do you know where Myron-sensei went? Miss Myron or? He asked, and for some reason Minamata's expression suddenly clouded over. Minamata-san. Oh no, sorry. If you're looking for Miss Myron, I think she's back in the cruiser. What? She's already back? She was so excited to be a moderator. Yeah, you should go. Yes, I understand. He was worried that Minamata was acting a little strange, but he also wanted to thank Myron for supporting him. Therefore, Sho left the venue ahead of the others and headed for Myron's cruiser house. After Sho's back was turned, Minamata realized something and said, oh, I forgot to give this to Kokoma-kun. Minamata then looked at the silver key that he had taken out of his pocket. Well, I guess I should leave you two alone for a bit now. Minamata put the key in his pocket and gave a small laugh. Seeing this, Kabadem, who was at his feet, said happily, you are so meddlesome, you know what Shokun will do, don't you? Well, yeah. If it works out, you'll be able to keep seeing her from now on. If it does, I guess that's called karma. Anyway, we'll just have to wait and see for now. Payo. M climbed onto Minamata's shoulder, smiling as she stared at P and Payo's incubator, and then they both looked with kind eyes in the direction Sho had left them. Oi, Minamata-san. Oh, it's you guys. At that moment, Dird, Aaliyah, Apuesta, Palti, and Karusha appeared together. Thanks to you all for your hard work today. I'm sorry I made you feel so embarrassed. It's true. I don't play games like that anymore. Well, Sho was too good, wasn't he? I might want to end this kind of thing for good. It's true. It was quite embarrassing just to be seen by everyone on this island. Yes, I shudder to think what would have happened if it had been broadcast live. Karusha said, and everyone all nodded loudly, Haha. So, what's the matter? What do you want from me? Minamata asked, and the girls realized this with an aha moment. Yes, that's right. We wanted to ask you something. Palti said on behalf of the girls. What is it? Minamata made himself ready to listen. Well, during the fight earlier, there were some strange numbers appearing in the lower right corner of the monitor. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw something like that. I thought Miss Myron was counting something, but I don't know what the hell it was. Actually, I wasn't told about it either. Is that so? So, the number went up rapidly in the middle of the day. We were talking about what it was, but we couldn't get an answer in the end, so we came here to ask Minamata-san. I see. Yeah, I get it. I'm curious too, so I'll ask her. With that, Minamata took out a small communication terminal and started to communicate somewhere. Oh, this is Minamata. I'd like to ask you a few questions, actually. Yes. There. Suddenly Minamata's complexion went surreally blue, and Dird and the others looked at each other and nodded their heads. After the communication was over, Minamata put away the terminal, looking very depressed and sullen for some reason. M, on the other hand, was giggling on Minamata's shoulder. Minamata-san, what's wrong with you? You look pale. Minamata-san? Is there something wrong? No, actually, it's... Minamata slurred his words as if he was having a very hard time speaking, and eventually, he spoke as if he had given up. Please don't get mad at me, but actually that number was. They listened to the rest of it. Dird and the others screamed so loudly that it echoed throughout the island. I'm sorry to bother you. There you are. Sho arrived at Myron's cruiser house and went inside to the room that was being used as a living room, where he saw Myron sitting alone in a chair. Excuse me, Myron-sensei. As he tried to speak to her there, Sho stopped mid-sentence. That was because Myron's profile was so sad that he had never seen it before, and it almost made his chest tighten. Myron must have recognized him by his voice and presence, because she looked at Sho and murmured, "Hara, isn't it Shokuin? Congratulations on your victory. Kampa-I in celebration of the victor." "Oh, thank you very much. Are you drinking that much alcohol again?" "It's fine. Now I'm relieved of my burden." Myron raised her arms in the air and stretched, her face showing none of the sadness she had shown earlier. She must be very drunk. She looked a little wobbly. When Sho put a large amount of food and other stuff on a nearby table, Myron took a bite of it with a whoa. "There's some good snacks here. I think I'll have another drink then." Myron took out a new bottle of sake from the cupboard, and Sho began to speak. Myron-sensei, there's something I need to talk to you about." "Oh, stop. I'm sorry, but as soon as the battle is over, I'm no longer in charge. What happens next is none of my business. So, if you want to talk to me about, you should talk to Minamata." Myron opened a bottle of sake and started drinking it straight from the bottle. Myron-sensei? Myron was the kind of person who would get involved with people at will, whether they wanted to be involved or not. This time, however, something was different. The arrogant and uninhibited Myron seemed to be on the verge of disappearing. "Myron-sensei, what's wrong?" But Myron made no reply. In fact, she didn't even try to make eye contact with Sho. "Something's wrong, you know? Normally, I'd say let's get everyone involved, let's have a launch party or something, and make a fool of ourselves, but I can't believe I'm drinking alone in a place like this." "Shut up. Shut up. I told you I don't care anymore." Myron raised her voice, and Sho shrugged in surprise at the power of it. Their eyes met. There was a heavy silence between them. Then Myron turned around, placed the bottle on the table, and said, "I'm sorry. This is what I call taking it out on you. This is why Minamata knows that I am inexperienced." "What? What the hell are you talking about? What?" "Of course, I'm a virgin." "Huh?" Sho froze with his mouth wide open, while Myron continued to mock herself. "It's funny, isn't it? I can't believe I'm this old and still inexperienced in sex." "Yeah, well, if you suddenly come out with such a painful face. But it can't be helped. When I was in college, I was still a child compared to the people around me. When I finally hit puberty, I was surrounded by old men at work. It's not my fault. It's not my fault, you know." Myron looked very serious as she shouted, and Sho could see that her eyes were moist. So Sho was confused and didn't know how to treat Myron. "I'm not good at love anyway. I can study, but I don't know anything about love. I don't know how to play games. That's why I wanted Minamata to attack me and take the blame." "Wow, that's nasty." "Huh. I'm such a bitch. Minamata wouldn't attack me anyway, and it's all over now. I'm waiting to have my memory wiped." "What?" Myron just mumbled a very curious word. "My memory will be erased." Sho asks quickly, "Wait a minute, sensei, you just said that your memory will be erased." Myron responded, pausing for a beat before speaking weakly. "That's right. Now that the war is over and I've done my part as an Earthling, my memories of this island will soon be erased. But it can't be helped. That's what I was promised." Oh no. He'd never heard of that. He'd never heard of such a thing before. But now he knew. This was the reason why Myron was as desperate as she had been earlier. To Sho's surprise, Myron apologized while keeping her face down. "I'm sorry, Shokuin. I've put you through a lot, haven't I?" No way. I don't mind that kind of thing. I knew you'd say that, Shokuin. You're always looking out for me, and that's why you're taking advantage of me. Because it's so kind Higu, Myron, who was still groggy. Then, to his surprise, she started crying, stifling her voice. Was it because of the alcohol? Sho couldn't do anything to stop the adult woman from crying. The only thing he could do was stare at Myron in a daze, and then she grabbed the hem of Sho's shirt, squeezing it tightly, and mumbled, "I don't want to leave you, oh. We'll always be together." Myron's shoulders quivered slightly. Myron, who had been pompous and jovial beyond her stature, was now as unreliable as a young child. "It's kind of cute." The current Myron looks like a kitten abandoned in a cardboard box. I'm not sure if I should pick it up or leave it alone. Sho hesitated for a moment, but then decided to answer. Well, as Sensei knows, I won the competition, so I get to go to space. I know, Myron said a bit bluntly, keeping her face down. But I'm still a minor, so I'm allowed to be chaperoned by a guardian. But my mom and dad are kind of mentally weak. They said they wanted to come to this island, but they still can't seem to leave the mainland. I know. How do I convince my parents to go to space? I think it's impossible. Because it's space, right? Yeah. So, Minamata-san told me that instead of my immediate family, I can take someone I trust as my guardian, as long as it's just one person. He noticed that Myron looked up a little and was looking at Sho with a jittery look on her face. It was just like a kitten with its face half out of the cardboard. Sho averted his gaze so as not to be noticed, feeling a little funny at the all-too-honest look in his eyes. So, there's only one person around me who's tough, energetic, and unusual enough to endure going into space, and who's willing to accept the incredible story of going into space right away. Well, you know, whether she's a trustworthy person or not. Shokuin? Well, it's so. Myron's too honest and sincere eyes stared at him, and Sho became a little embarrassed. That? Myron-sensei, if you don't mind, would you like to come with me and follow me into space? At that statement, Myron looked stunned, like she was looking at something she couldn't believe. Me and? Yes. I mean, I'm too nervous to go into space alone, too, and I was thinking that Myron-sensei would be a great help. Shokuin, but that's so sudden. Myron's cheeks flushed red for some reason, and then she looked uncomfortable, her gaze wandering around the area. What? Sensei wanted to go to space, too, didn't she? That's why I thought it would be just right to go to, See, and if you're with me, it won't be the end of your relationship with me, and you won't have to have your memory erased, right? Myron's eyes widened in astonishment. Sho's idea seemed to be correct. But she quickly averted her gaze again, her cheeks flushing. But, I can't believe you're proposing to me out of the blue. Even I'm a little unprepared for that. What? Besides, Shokuin is not old enough to get married yet, right? So, this kind of thing should be done slowly after Shokuin comes of age. Stop. I'm just asking you to follow me. Sho panicked, but Myron didn't stop. But of course, it's not that I don't want to, okay? If I could, I'd give you an answer right away, but right now you're still a student, and I'm still the sensei of this school. It's not too late, at least not until after Shokuin graduates. Hey. Listen to what people are saying. You can't be violent all of a sudden, Shokuin, but I'm a little nervous. So, what the hell are you talking about? Just when Sho was confused as to how to stop Myron from going out of control. Sho. Whoa. What? With a loud bang, the door to the room slammed open with tremendous force, and a number of girls entered the room with loud footsteps. Everyone? Sho's eyes lit up, and there were 5 of them: Dird, Aaliyah, Apuesta, Palti, and Karusha. For some reason, they were all looking very red, and the corners of their eyebrows were raised. It was obvious that they were angry. What? What's wrong with you? It's not what's wrong. Hey, Sho, what have you done to me? Sho, this can't be happening. I'm so embarrassed. They all came at him at once, and Sho was quickly cornered against the wall. Unsure of what was going on, Sho tried to figure out why they were so angry, but he couldn't come up with an answer. Then Myron, who had been in a daze for a while, stood up and said, Hey, wait a minute, you guys. What do you think you're doing, barging into my house out of nowhere and asking for my Shokuin? My Shokuin? Oh, shut up. Tell me what you're doing here. Dirge shouted at the upset Myron, still in high spirits. It's not very nice, oh no. Today's baseball fist tournament was broadcast live to the entire galaxy. Huh? Sho and Myron shouted at the same time. Dirge's right, you're right. Today's match. The whole thing was broadcasted. Minamata just confirmed it for us, so we're sure. And in the whole galaxy. Haha, me. What kind of face am I going to have to live with from now on? Ugh. Wow, they've seen everything about us. Aaliyah got excited, Apuesta mumbled weakly, Palti wobbled as if she was about to collapse, and Karusha half cried as she said this. Yeah. Sho shouted in surprise. Wait, broadcast. I didn't hear anything about that. Yes, Sho didn't know anything about it, but he could tell from the way the girls were acting that it was true. Then he looked at Myron next to him. Oh, Myron said, as if remembering. That's true. You saw those numbers in the lower right corner of the monitor in the hall? That's the number of people who were watching the live broadcast of the war. What? At first, the broadcast was supposed to be limited to the people involved. Well, there were a lot of things happening, and it spread to local commercial broadcasters and finally to the central network broadcasters. Well, it seems that people all over the galaxy were watching it. If I were a TV producer, I'd get a big promotion. Really? Seriously, though? Oh, and you're underage, so we had a secret wall filter in place, but if anyone watching the broadcast is underage, that thing will come off by itself. Yeah, Myron replied, and Dird and the others' faces suddenly turned pale, and even the ever-present Dird pulled a face and said, Sensei, did you know? But Minamata-san is. Oh, Minamata is the type of person who can't hide things like that, so I didn't tell him. If I had told him, he would have objected. Myron laughed as if it was someone else's problem and said it in a matter-of-fact manner. As expected, Dird and the others were indignant at this, and the eyebrows of the five of them rose sharply. Hey, Sensei's an idiot. What have you done to us, Myron? That's terrible. How can you take responsibility for this? No, Sensei, there's no such thing. Don't you dare come near me. The one who tore you guys apart in the first place is Shokuin over there. All of the girls' eyes were instantly drawn to Sho. What? It's my fault. Sho thought about it a little more calmly. The war on Banjo Island would determine the future for many pirate guilds, so it was only natural that it would attract the attention of the entire galaxy. And when it came to the battle that would decide the outcome, it was no wonder that it was broadcast live. Sho doesn't know how they handle TV in the galaxy, but if you think that it's not much different from that of the Earth, you can't help but broadcast such a special story. But of all things, it was a baseball fist contest that was broadcasted. And it was Sho who beat the girls and made them take off their clothes. In addition, it was broadcasted to the entire galaxy. Sho couldn't help but laugh anymore. Guys, sorry, B? At least, that's what he apologized to Dird and the others. Sho, you think apologizing is going to help? It can't be like that. It's not going to happen, is it? Sho-san. Dird and the others each opened their mouths as wide as they could. Take responsibility. Take responsibility, yeah. Take responsibility. Please take responsibility. Please take responsibility. Whoa. Everyone, calm down. Sho was attacked by Dird and the others at great speed, and even Myron said, You guys. What are you doing to my Shokuin? Myron jumped on top of them, and the situation was in chaos. That's when it happened. It was at that moment that they heard the sound of jiririri. Suddenly there was a violent ringing of a bell, and Sho and the others stopped moving and looked over. The alarm system in the room glowed red and continued to ring loudly. After a few seconds of delay, a three-dimensional monitor showed the communication image in the room. What appeared on the screen was Minamata, looking bloodthirsty. Everyone, we're in trouble. Then he said something Sho and the others hadn't expected. A fleet of pirate remnants is approaching Earth. Hurry up and get over here.